Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Helpful Lockpicker here, and the video I have for you today is on the Master Lock model number 7040. This is from the Pro Series lineup. This is a really cool lock that comes with an 8mm boron alloy shackle, and I just feel that this lock is very well constructed. It comes pinned up to 5, but it has a repinnable core that you can easily pin up to 6 pins. When you open up this lock, you can see that the shackle is protected by ball bearings, which will make this lock almost impossible to shim, and it will add a lot of strength to the pry resistance. One favorite feature of this lock for me is the fact that it has a lot of spring tension on the core and it has a non-spring loaded shackle. What makes this much more difficult is when you pick the lock, you're going to need to turn the core over, manually pull the shackle open, and if you drop your tension wrench, the lock will relock, and this makes this lock much more difficult to pick in hand, and especially if the lock is in use. I feel that this lock is a really cool lock to check out, and we're going to see what it takes to pick into one of these in just a moment. Please stay tuned. Alright, let's see what it takes to get this Master Lock model number 7040 opened up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use top of the keyway tension in 40 thousandths. I'm going to use this gem in 15 thousandths. I just want to go over one thing that makes this lock pretty unique. It has a lot of spring tension on the core, and on top of that it has a non-spring loaded shackle. So when you go to open up this lock, you have to be very careful that you hold the core turned over and you pull the shackle open simultaneously. If you happen to drop your tension wrench, you will have the core relock. And I feel like that adds to the security of this lock. This lock has a keyway that's a little bit bigger than 40 thousandths of an inch, so the tension wrench is very prone to slipping out. But let's see what it takes to get this lock open right now. So I'm going to start off with pin number 1 here. And it feels like it's binding. I got some counter rotation, like it was a spool pin. Then 2. Got some counter rotation as well, like it was a spool pin. 3, got a little click, and we got a deeper false set that had some counter rotation as well. 4, I just got a small click. 5, I got some counter rotation too, which may be a spool pin. Let's see, 4, got some counter. 3, 2, 1. So right now I'm concerned about potentially dropping my tension wrench. This is something very easy to do on this lock, so I'm going to stick this other tension wrench on the bottom here, and I am going to ensure that I get my wrench back in there nice and securely. The fact that you need to turn this lock over, pull the hasp open, it just makes this lock so much harder to pick in hand or if it were in use, and that just really adds to the security of this lock. At least for me, I've had a hard time using a 40 thousandths of an inch tensioner because it just likes to fall out when you're fighting against the spool pins. But all in all, this lock's been pretty well made. I feel like it has some decent tolerances for a master lock. It's really hard to get the true binding order down packed really well, and you keep setting the spool pins, they keep dropping, then you need to reset them again, and this has been a pretty fun lock. So let's see where we are right now. 1, 2, 3 gave me my false setback. 4, nothing on 5. 4, some counter. 1, gave me my false setback. 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, we're starting to lose our tension wrench here. I think what I would ideally have would be a tension wrench that's about 45 thousandths, and we got the lock open. Thank goodness, I almost dropped my tension wrench. So you can see the lock is open. I'm not sure why it's not pulling open the shackle. Maybe it's because of it being in the vise. Let me loosen this up here and see. But we can see that the lock is very clearly opened up here. So here we go. The lock is now open. This has been my Master Lock model number 7040, and I just feel like this lock has a lot going for it. It has the 8mm boron alloy shackle, it has the ball bearings, it has the spring tension on the core, a non-spring loaded shackle. This lock is just not going to be easy to pick in hand, or especially if it were in use. So we're going to get our pinning tray out, and then on this lock you need to use an Allen wrench. I believe the correct one is going to be a 7/64. So let's get started on taking this guy apart. Okay, still got a little bit more to go on loosening this up. And I really like that this lock is rekeyable too, so you can really start to customize it however you would need it. Alright, so this is the core here, and let's see, it has a circlip it takes on the back. It's pretty greasy. I'm going to grab a tissue. Alright, so since I have the key, I'm going to lock this right back up, and then we're going to take the circlip off the back here. Doesn't appear to have a circlip. Does it have one on? Let's see what happens when I try to take it out. It looks like it is. Okay, yeah, it will come out. So I'm not sure why it doesn't have a securing clip. That's a little alarming because you could lose your pens, but nonetheless, let's see. Alright, so what we're seeing here is a 6-pin core that comes pinned up to 5. Then we have the Bible here, and that is the front aspect. And let's see what we have for key pins. So for 1, standard key pin, nice long key pin. 2, 3, 4, 5. So this lock has some pretty interesting bitting. It's, you know, long, and then has that one really short key pin in 4 followed by a long one. So it's very easy to overset. And this lock picked mostly like it had spools almost in every chamber. I think I got counter rotation on every chamber, but I'd be surprised if it had 5 spools. I think historically the fifth pin that's not a spool would be in 5. So let's just see what that turns out to be. So we got a spool in 1 with a regular spring, spool in 2, the regular spring, spool in 3, the regular spring, spool in 4, the regular spring, and the 5th pin has just shot out, and I am going to need to quickly locate that. I'm not sure where that landed, unfortunately. It just shot across here, and it did not seem to catch on my mat very well. So the 5th and final pin was in fact a spool. But either way, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. This has been a really fun lock to work on. This has been the Master Lock Pro Series, model number 7040. This is a really cool lock. It has a lot of great features. It has that 8mm boron alloy shackle. It has a lot of spring tension on the core. You need to pull the shackle open manually. It makes this lock very hard to open up in hand, especially if it's in use. And just on top of that, the keyway is a size that is not really a standard size that you would not normally see. A 40,000ths of an inch pry bar fits very loosely, and with all these spools it falls out so easily. So I feel this lock puts up a really great challenge. It was a really fun lock to work on, and just thank you guys so much for checking this out. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. As always, thank you so much for checking out this video, and I hope you all have a great day. Just thank you so much for checking this out.